Hello everyone, Kirk here with a very special bonus. You probably heard my spiel before the Session 0 episode, but just in case anyone skips to this one, this is the first act of Triple Quest, a very fun adventure that we recorded earlier this year with special guest game master Matthew Mercer. It was a ton of fun we recorded over the course of a few different sessions, including that planning session that you may or may not have just listened to. This is Act 1, which we recorded in Los Angeles, in my hotel room, which actually made for a very good recording studio. It was remarkably soundproof, and the acoustics weren't great, but that kind of lent to that feeling of all being in a room together. Man, you've never set up for a recording session until you've been trying to get your hotel room to work for a 4-person D&D recording session with a celebrity guest who is really only free on that one day. I was kind of sweating it, but it worked out, and it was really a lot of fun, as you're about to hear. So this is Act 1, and of course, this is only made possible by the wonderful Maximum Fun members who support the creation of our show, and we have been giving members episodes of Triple Quest a month early in the Max Fun bonus feed. Ordinarily, you get bonus episodes from us, and of course, we'll continue to in the future, but for these 3 months, you're getting episodes of Triple Quest a month early, and that means that at the end of Act 1, if you want to find out what happens next, you can do so. Just go to MaximumFun.org/join, become a member, and you can immediately get into the thick of this heist. Let me tell you, some stuff goes down in Act 2. It's pretty cool. So yeah, this was great. We've never done anything like this before. It's way outside of our comfort zone, but that's kind of what makes it fun. And if it's not for you, hey, normal episode will be out on Thursday. All right, well, the music is telling me it's time to do this thing, so let's get underway.
I'm Maddie Myers.
I'm Jason Schreier.
I'm Kirk Hamilton.
And I'm Matthew Mercer, and this is Triple Quest. This is Triple Quest. This is Triple Quest.
So, for this fun adventure, we all got together and discussed your characters a bit before we go ahead and jump into the adventure proper. I figure we can just do a quick round robin. Tell us a little bit about your character, what would be a fun snippet of their history that we can kind of sink us into the world, and then I'll take it from there. So, let's go ahead and start. Let's start with Bing, since
all right,
I'm looking in this direction.
So Bing is a tiefling barbarian who was raised as a camp orphan with a mercenary outfit called the Third Section, and he and his sister Biana, his twin sister, kind of were raised by the camp. They don't know how their parents died. And they then eventually left and went out on their own and formed their own mercenary sort of duo, where they were a very formidable pair. But then they kind of made their way to Waterdeep. They fell in with the Waterdeep Thieves Guild, just doing some contract work for them. And that was where they were paired up with two new faces, Leon and Key, in very different circumstances on a job that went horribly wrong and led to Biana getting captured by the Waterdeep Guard and executed by the Lords of Waterdeep. And the group scattered after that, and Bing wound up on his own for the first time in a way that he was not really accustomed to. And he's still working as a mercenary, but just sort of has lost his way after the death of his sister.
Fantastic. All right, let's hop over here to Key Sandrine.
That's right. Key Sandrine, not her real name, but she won't tell you what it is. She came up with this when she was a teenager. But before that, she was an orphan. She's a half-elf, doesn't know who her parents are either, but was raised in a series of crappy foster situations, orphanages, and just straight up living on the streets. And the best thing that ever happened to her was when, not through some cosmic or traumatic event, she simply discovered that she had magic when she was sneaking around a lord's mansion trying to steal stuff, and realized that she could control some of the fire in candlelight, and was like, oh, this is what was meant to be. I am a sorcerer. Finally, something good has happened in my life. And she continued being a thief and just general ruffian, doesn't necessarily trust others, but is willing to work with them in order to just continue to survive. So she steals to survive and puts herself first in general, and still secretly has a soft spot for Bing and Leon because, the job went wrong and that kind of gets at her.
Understood. Thank you so much. And rounding out this trio, we have the illustrious Leon Goldpetal.
Leon Goldpetal, unlike Bing and Key, Leon knows exactly who his parents are, but they were never around. Leon grew up rich. He's a high elf in Waterdeep, and his parents were always on business trips, always trading and doing other merchant-y things, and he decided to lash out a little bit by starting to steal things, and he realized that he was very good at stealing things, and he started to get a real thrill out of it. Eventually left home, joined the Thieves Guild. At this point in his life, where we are today, he's got enough money, he's doing just fine, and he doesn't need to steal, but he does it anyway, because it's such a rush, such an adrenaline rush for Leon. Loves to steal, my man.
So, all three of you pulled from disparate paths among the bustling and opportunity-laden streets of Waterdeep. Each of you found your way into the interests of the Black Boar tribe, a lesser-known thieves guild operating out of the Dock District of Waterdeep. Once a loosely organized troop of ruffians and brutes, they had recently begun to rise to respectable levels of prominence and organization under new leadership. Leadership that emphasized expanding the specialized skill sets of their members beyond just charged protection and targeted belligerence. And it was this outreach that found each of you. One of the tribe captains, a surly old retired pit brawler named Evex the Vice, for his legendary vice-like bite that won him many a blood sport, became your contact and sponsor through your early climb within the expanding gang. Numerous successful ventures into targeted burglary, evidence planting, blackmail, you name it. Your work made Evex and the tribe's leadership, it seemed, quite proud to have you among them. It wasn't until the fateful attempt to infiltrate the home of Ogden Frintz, rumored member of the Jewelers Guild of Waterdeep, that things really turned. The three of you barely escaping with your lives, but sadly not with the freedom of being sister Biana. It was her public execution that shattered your trio and sent you scattered to the four winds of Faerun to hide, ruminate, maybe regret. A number of years have passed since. Each of you adrift upon whatever opportunities could float you from coin to coin, considering where you now belong within the realms. Bing, where do you see yourself in this moment? Please paint us a brief description of what you're doing at this time later.
Let's see. Bing is currently lodging in a small farmhouse, not too close to any major population center, in between jobs, and just sort of keeping his ear to the ground for anyone who's looking for someone who's very good at knocking things down and making sure they don't get back up again.
Great. So here in the outskirts of the small farm village of Amphail, you've been hired to a bit of maybe moderate frustration to keep watch over a shepherd's flock. For the past week. It doesn't pay well, but it pays, and at this point in time, you need that. It's a bit of a hot midsummer day as you kind of wipe a bit of sweat from your brow, trying to keep what shade allows you there, hearing the nearby strange kind of braying of farm life and various beasts of burden, the scents themselves, a thick mixture of midsummer grasses and fresh manure. As you spit to the side of the road, you see a shadow begin to approach in the middle of the light, a heavy hood and a hand up kind of blocking the sun from the eyes. As you see kind of just barely pulling out from the shaded hood, the familiar kind of twice broken and repaired jaw and scraggly looking beard of the familiar Evex the Vice, as he kind of pulls the hood back a bit, his crystalline, almost bright blue sky blue eyes looking towards you.
Don't mean to bother you today, sir, but it's been a little bit. How's it going with you, Bing? How's it going, mate?
Bing smiles and pulls his hood back and embraces Evex and says, "My God, it's good to see you. Tell me you've got work for me."
Right to the point. You know, it's one thing I always appreciate about you. No bullshit. Nothing really getting in the way of what's the important matters. You know what I'm saying?
No bullshit here. Nothing but sheep shit all around me.
About to say, it's a bit of an intense scent. You know what? Let's go ahead and step into a place a little more comfy. How about that, eh?
Bing gestures toward the nearby a nearby farmshade and says, "Step into my office."
Moving up in the world, are we?
He claps your back, and you both kind of step inside. He pulls out a small flask from the inside, unscrews the cap, and the immediate kind of warming smell of a slightly staled whiskey, possibly watered down, but good enough for the road's journey, kind of wafts out as he takes a swig and passes it to you.
Hey, I know things have been a little scattered since the incident, I guess you could say,
As he kind of rubs his fingers through his beard and probably picks some dried bits of his breakfast out and flicks them to the floor.
Good news is, looks like fortunes are turning around for the tribe these days. We've got an opportunity.
Bing has kind of winced at the mention of what happened and took a swig. He hands the drink back and says, "Well, tell me more."
You know, we had some momentum, just trajectory a while back, and we've had a few stumbles here and there, but it seems the Shadow Thieves are looking for some alliances, and it just might be enough to get us back in the good graces of the street level, and, well, we have to prove ourselves, and I think the skill sets that are needed for this particular job, well, I think they might be right up your alley. Are you interested?
Bing leans against the door and says, "I feel like I've proved myself so many times, but what's one more? If it'll get me out of here, I'm interested."
Never done proven, ain't that just the way of the world, eh? Come, let me give you a few details.
As we wish back through the shadows, Leon Goldpetal, where do you see yourself at this moment in time, all these years later?
Yeah, Leon, I think he hung around Waterdeep. He went to a bunch of the kind of neighboring cities and towns and just stole until he couldn't steal no more. Sometimes he was driven out. Occasionally he just felt like he had already taken more than the villagers had to give. And he's just been kind of moving from place to place. He doesn't like to stay in one place for too long.
Okay. So if we'll say kind of on the outskirts of the city of Daggerford, which is still along the Sword Coast, not terribly far. You've stumbled into what looks to be a minstrel band that is performing at this kind of ramshackle tavern. And while it does appear to have the sense of put upon joviality for the sake of trying to extract coin from the locals, there is an aspect of a familiar air of being raised among the more affluent areas of Waterdeep, and this distraction from the rural environment puts you a little bit at ease and comfort. As you sit there, kind of flicking a coin between your fingers, looking over the crowd, a hand gently clasps your shoulder, which kind of sends you to a jolt.
Leon jumps up. He's getting into fight or flight mode. He's looking around. What the fuck is going on?
As you pull back, a hand immediately reaches out and grabs your wrist before it goes for your weapon. What do you do?
He takes, with his other hand, he grabs the hand that's collapsing his wrist and just pulls it off.
Okay. As he pulls back, the other hand of this assailant grabs the hand you grabbed his, and you're both now locked into.
We start a game of Twister.
Yeah, exactly. The music kicks up, and you both begin to bend lithely. In that locked moment, you're looking for a sign of the aggressor to make the maneuver, so you can go ahead and dive out of the way and riposte. But it never comes. Instead, you just see this kind of white, toothy grin begin to appear beneath the shadow as you see the scraggly familiar beard of Evex.
Aye, still jumpy as ever, are we?
Evex, you old so-and-so.
Takes you into a quick bear hug before setting you down.
Oh, yeah. You know, takes someone like you to drag me to shitty establishments like this, I guess. So,
you come to do an old con? I got a 3-car Monty going over here. We could pull out the old two-sided coin.
Maybe. I'm actually on the clock this time, and hoping to maybe drag you onto it as well. You ain't busy in recent weeks, are you, Kate?
Never too busy for you, Evex.
Good mate. All right, so there's a job. I know it's been dry for a bit, but this is one worth returning to. Tell you what. I'm getting the band back together a little bit. Can't tell you too much here, but nice and close.
And as he pulls you in to whisper into your ear, we shift over to Key Sandrine. Where do you see yourself here in this period of time?
I would see Key as also living downtown somewhere, but definitely homeless and literally living in a tent, but trying to cover for it in her day-to-day and hoping nobody knows that's her current situation. She's stolen enough that she has like a pretty good-looking outfit on, but she is sleeping on the ground at this time. But yeah, somewhere in a downtown bustling kind of a place, just trying to run cons and maybe live in a house again.
Gotcha. A gently fading morning rain has just finished passing through here on the outskirts of Waterdeep. The little bit of mist is still dripping, and the mud puddles themselves are thick. And anybody who tries to clomp through here without the heaviest of boots is going to immediately suffer for the remainder of the day. As you kind of glance out from your shaded space to hope the weather has passed, a small child kind of walks by with an untouched apple and kind of meets your gaze, kind of holding it out to them.
Hey, kid. This part of town is actually really dangerous, and I think you could probably use my help. Where are your parents, kiddo?
I don't know.
Key gets a little closer and just kind of reaches out her hand and is like, "Oh, wow, you're so lonely. Oh my God. If you look just down that road right there, there's actually a really good shop that you can probably like find some other people who might be able to help you find your parents. You see right down there? Kid looking.
Make a perception check for me.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll. Add your perception modifier.
14.
14. As you're pointing out, you just barely see a shadow moving out of the corner of your eye, and you feel something quickly wrap towards your neck. What do you do?
Similar to Leon, I freak the heck out. I also try to grab this hand, but I don't think I'm as good at it as he is.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check for me.
All right, same deal. Yeah. 2.
2. Okay. You reach up to try and grab it, but a secondary hand deflects it to the side, and you feel something hard press against your throat. You try and grab up to deflect whatever this incoming strike is, and instead, it overpowers you briefly, and you feel something dense press against your throat. The child seems unmoved by this, still holding the apple, and kind of eyes gazing past, gives a nod, and catches a coin from the figure behind you before the child drops the apple and runs off.
Great! Love this day so far. Just what I wanted.
You hear a slight crack sound as the twig that's been placed against your neck breaks. Very little impact, but all of a sudden the figure lets go and turns around, and you see Evex there standing.
You can't let your guard down, love.
Evex, I am so glad it's you. I have been having a time.
I can tell. Well, here's the thing. We've all been making our way through a very tough period for the guild, but it's looking a bit up, and I'm actually coming to have a conversation. If you're interested, I've got some old friends coming in town for a bit of a discussion. No obligations, of course, but I think it could be worth your while.
Do I really look like I can afford to say no?
Hey, just want to make sure there's a choice.
I love the mutual respect that we're trading on each other here. I am so in.
All right. That being the case, we're meeting up at the Singing Sword Tavern, just past sunset. Come along. Don't make a mess.
I'll do my best.
Very well. With that, Evex scatters, and as the day goes on, your disparate energies of anticipation, worry, concern, excitement all begin to mingle until the sky turns from a bright blue to the darkened hues of purples to that vibrant final stage of orange before the sun vanishes over the distant horizon. And at that, you, separate moments, walk up to the beautiful sounds of the multi-instrumented band that accompanies, indeed, the enchanted sword that sings upon the stage here night after night that gave the tavern its name. Stepping past the kind of motley crowd of individuals that are both here for entertainment or for a bit of revelry or maybe the occasional fisticuff or two, you push past the curtain entrance to the interior, and after scanning the crowd for a good 10-15 minutes or so, you find the familiar face of Evex, large tankard in hand in the far corner, having a kind of an alcove-based booth already set and ready. Which one of you do you think arrives first?
It could be me.
Yeah.
All right. Key, you excitedly sit down and wait in anticipation as the second member arrives. Who would that be?
Leon. Leon comes in. He rolls in.
All right.
Finally, somebody to pay for these drinks.
Oh my God, it's Key. God, I haven't seen you since the incident.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that. However, finally somebody to pay for these drinks.
Yeah, okay, I gotcha.
Thank you.
It's about this time you see the familiar visage of Bing walk up. And to this point, too, give us a visual description of what Bing looks like as you step forward.
Bing is quite tall, I guess maybe nearing like 6'5", maybe closing on towards 7 feet. Deep red skin and flowing purple hair that he is quite proud of. It kind of flows out from his head. And usually wearing a hood on his cloak, but sometimes he lets it down and you can really see the hair. He walks into the tavern and for a moment is just distracted looking at the stage and just staring at the sword. And then he sort of shakes his head and turns around, looks at the table and sees Leon and immediately brightens up, throws his head off and says, "Leon, it's you!"
Bing, I should have known.
He grabs you bodily and pulls you out and gives you a big hug.
It's lovely to see you, old friend.
I never thought you'd write me back. And then he looks and says, "And Key," and he kind of nods at her.
She nods back, her face changing a little as she realizes the three of them are together again for the first time. And do we need to raise that awkward topic? Because Key is kind of hoping no one brings it up, even though Leon already did.
Key, we don't have to talk about it. Bing, I hope you're doing well, my old friend.
He releases you and looks down at Evex and sort of says, "Evex, you brought us all here."
I did, and I think it's going to be an interesting possibility.
As he glances across the table, let's get a visual description of you, Key, if you don't mind.
All right, so Key is the shortest of this group and a little resentful about it. She's got long black hair, gray-white skin, and again, wearing a pretty good outfit, trying to hold herself, again, not like an unhoused person, and just generally having been back together with two pals she hasn't seen in years, and again, still has that sense of shame. She's trying to be like, I'm cool. I'm so cool.
And to possibly contrast or complement that, Leon, what does your presence and visage present in the middle of this tavern?
Leon is tall, not quite as tall as Bing, but he's got that elvish stature. He's got big pointy ears, and he wears what I would describe as Saul Goodman clothes. He wears big, bright suits,
Flash.
the most garish outfits possible, which he thinks is very useful as a distraction, so you don't notice that he's in your pocket.
I love that. Evex throws the cloak off his shoulders, kind of revealing his burly form. He's in his early 60s, but a lifetime of hard battle in the various pit fighting rings across the city has forged him into an intimidating figure at any age. His, dark, deeply tanned, sun-scarred skin, his leather-studded breastplate itself kind of creaks as he leans back in the booth and takes a large swig of his ale before slamming it down on the table.
All right, friends, so this alliance with the Shadow Thieves is contingent on a number of trials they've placed to make sure that we're capable. One of these trials sits squarely in your skill sets, and my master specifically requested I reach out to you. So, at the very least, know you're being thought of. The pay is significant, and contacts within the Shadow Thieves will only bolster your your careers and opportunities. So, the job itself.
And you see he has like a giddy flash in his eyes.
Not too far from here, off the southern edge of the Mere of Dead Men in the north, lies the dwarven keep of Thornhold. Now, there in recent years, the dwarven lady Obella Amberthack has settled in residence at Thornhold following her marriage to the Marjaster family. Lady Obelia, she's sort of a collector of relics and odd magics, and it is rumoured that she has completely overtaken the eastern tower of the keep to protect her and her collection. She's a woman of means, and well, there's all sorts of strange rumours, but aren't there that around anyone of any sort of meagre importance, I suppose? I mean, you'd know that.
Yeah, like me.
Well, within her collection sits a beautifully crafted bracelet of polished silver with green emeralds inlaid throughout, 10 in total. One of her crowning keepsakes, referred to as the Bracelet of the Emerald Maw. So, I need you three to infiltrate Thornhold, recover this bracelet, and return it to me here in the tavern within the week.
Evex, how can we do a job without Biana? It's our gang is missing a member. We're 25% short. We can't go on a heist without our healer.
Well, then you're going to have to work 25% harder, aren't you? Look, life in the realms is about adaptation. And I think each of you has shown an ability to roll with the punches, eh?
Bing has got his hands flat on the table and says, "Well, tell us about pay."
Well, we can front you 500 gold pieces for supplies to spend as you need.
And he kind of slides a heavy bag forward that kind of rolls slightly before kind of pancaking out at the sheer volume of coins within. The sound of it hitting the table causes a few nearby folks to kind of glance over before you kind of instinctively hide the cornered space.
Eyes to yourself, buddy.
But upon successful completion, you'll be awarded 2,000 gold pieces each. Not to mention, quite a bit of clout within this newly forged partnership.
Bing sort of makes eye contact with Key, and Leon is like...
Key has the same thought and is desperately looking at Bing like trying to send a telepathic message. Like, Leon doesn't need this, but I do, and I'm looking at you and I think you do, so let's make this happen.
So Bing kind of just really subtly nods and looks back and says, "That would be adequate."
Hold on. Are you guys forgetting what happened last time? How could we do another heist together? After that? After Ogden? After everything?
Okay, let's learn a little bit more about how heavily guarded this bracelet is, because, Leon, how bad could it be? It's you, it's me. Come on.
It could be pretty bad. It was pretty bad last time.
Bing says, "You know what's pretty bad is spending 6 months shoveling sheep shit and standing under a tree. I'm ready for something different."
All right, tell us more, Evex. Tell us more.
All right, so the fort is built along the seaside cliff of the mere. It's got walls surrounding these small scattered buildings within the courtyard grounds. It's got the keep itself kind of in the center western side near the cliff with 2 flanking towers. It's not an incredibly large stronghold. The guard is maybe about 70 or so guards in the entire premises. That's not at all times, that's in total. They've scattered amongst shifts. Now, your means of infiltration are your own. There are front gates, there are the walls as well, there's the seaside cliff. We can provide you with horses, possibly a cart if you want to take it by land or road. We can provide you with a rowboat if you wish to take it by sea. Really, it's up to you. As far as we know, thankfully the keep itself is not where this is being kept. It looks like the eastern tower is where the lady's taken up residence. Now, as far as the tower itself, we're uncertain of what sort of defences there might be beyond the guards, since she's kind of renovated, if you will, in recent months. But I'm sure you're a clever batch, aren't you?
Yeah, we are.
Leon is, you can see the wheels turning in his head when he starts hearing about the heist, and he starts getting pretty excited about the idea. His admonitions are a little bit like fading away when he starts hearing about planning a heist. He's pretty excited. All right, Evex, all right. Bing, Key, it's been a while. It's been a while since we did one of these.
We got this. I can already tell you are in. You are in. Look at your eyes. Look at my eyes. We got this. And look at this guy. He's so strong. We're not even going to need a healer when we get there. We're just going to... Well, okay. I was going to say we're just going to charge in, but we're not. We're going to carefully craft a plan using the genius of Leon Goldpetal, and then it's just going to be a snap.
Bing?
I'm in. It sounds good. We could use a little bit more intelligence, though. Who's someone we could talk to who knows their way around this tower?
Well, that's the thing. They're pretty insular. We don't have any direct contacts there, but what I can do is kind of sketch out a basic outline.
And he does, and he kind of shows you that there is the cliffside of the region that goes behind the mirror of water, kind of the rocky cliffs that kind of meet the edge. The wall itself that surrounds it only surrounds it from cliffside to cliffside. It's like a semicircle wall using the cliff as its own defense element there. You can see there's maybe a dozen or so smaller structures within the courtyard, largely like a livery, living quarters for some of the servants, as well as maybe some storage parts as well. The keep is a modest-sized keep with a eastern and western tower that flank it. He kind of circles the eastern tower on the map.
Best we can tell is this is where it would be found. Lady Obella is known to be a bit of an odd duck. She keeps hobbies in parlor mystics and esoteric charms. So, at the very least, be a little careful when it comes to the strange and gaudy decor. You're not quite sure what's liable to bite back.
Oh, okay. That kind of weirdo. I get it.
How do they handle resupplying, food and other supplies?
So they handle it like most well-guarded places do, with weapons at the ready and a very discerning eye. But I imagine they have to have supply drops maybe twice a week, especially if they've had guests they got to keep well fed. And I know there are some supply caravans that come along the roadways here on the Sword Coast.
Is there a dock or any other way for the keep to access the water?
There is a small dock at the very base of the cliff where they take seaside arrivals, as well as an escape route in case any of the lords and ladies need to get out in the case of an attack. I don't know how long it's been in service and it's the last time it was used, but I imagine if there's a dock at the bottom of the cliffs, that means there has to be a walkway or an entrance along them and up. So that's also an option.
Might be a little small for us, dwarven entrance, huh? Are they all dwarves in there?
I imagine the lords and ladies are dwarves, but they probably have a smattering of different folks from across the realm that are part of the populace, the help, and possibly even visitors. And dwarves, I mean, they're small, but they're stocky. So as long as you can bow your head a bit, shouldn't be too bad.
What do you say, guys? Should we start our supply trade? It's time for us to become suppliers. It's time for us to become food merchants, huh?
One way or another.
Yeah, it's actually been my lifelong career dream to do that.
To be a supplier.
Can't wait to get into that biz.
I didn't realize that, Key. I learned something new about you.
It's nice to help someone realize their ambitions.
Yes.
Yeah, I just figured it out about 30 seconds ago, and it's gonna be great for me.
Bing looks at Leon and says, "I think she's being sarcastic, Leon."
Yes. Good observation.
You too. It's been a couple years, but you're gonna remember. This is just how I talk. This is how it is. I'm not changing it.
Bing sits back and says, "It's nice to see the two of you."
All right, so With what coin you have at your disposal and a little bit of time to prep, is there any additional equipment you want to try and acquire before this venture?
I think it'd be good to get some healing, because Bing is acutely aware, however he may not betray it, of his missing sister who used to take care of that kind of thing. So I would say some healing potions would not go amiss.
Sure. You do have some contacts. Evex sends you to a small kind of alleyway herbalist who is known for her kooky concoctions, but fair pricing if they show the right sort of hand signal. In doing so, you can spend about 300 of your 500 gold to acquire 2 greater healing potions if you'd like.
I think we should probably do that.
Sure.
Absolutely.
We should save...
To distribute as you feel necessary.
Bing hangs onto one, and he hands the other one to Leon, who's probably going to be closer to the front than Key.
We should save a little money to buy some supplies that we can then take and bring. Or should we hijack their suppliers?
I think we could save the money. We might want to bribe somebody as well.
Okay.
Could be useful.
If we can't charm anybody on the way in.
And then we can procure the rest on site.
I am good at procuring things.
All right. So I think that's all we need.
Shall we?
Perfect. So, partial coins still within your purses, your potions of healing at your disposal. You gather what you already have amongst yourselves, your thieves' tools, your equipment, your weapons, and whatever else elements you may feel are necessary for this trek. Rope, grappling hooks, anything that you think might be helpful in the heist-like infiltration of a space like this. So you can take note of those supplies before you leave, if you'd like.
Yeah, I think a rope, a grappling hook, that would be definitely good to
Leon's
bring.
always got a grappling hook. He carries around a big bag. He's always got a grappling hook. He's always got a set of rigged cards. He's always got a two-headed coin. He comes prepared.
One of you has a
two-headed
disguise
coin.
kit, is that right?
Leon can cast disguise self.
A disguise self. I thought one of you had a disguise kit, which could possibly be useful, or maybe
Probably.
not.
I don't think either of us. Oh no,
Okay.
I do.
That's what I thought.
I have
Okay.
a disguise kit.
Beautiful.
That's great.
Okay, so we've got that. Yeah, I mean, Bing travels pretty light. He's kind of got his cloak, his clothes, his sword, and he can take the grappling hook. Since he's pretty strong, he can probably throw it if we need it. So he throws that in his pack. And other than that, and the potion of healing, that's all he's got.
Great.
Bing, Key, I say we camp out, scope out the situation, watch and listen and learn. And then we find a guard and we kidnap him and interrogate him, find out what we need to know.
I think the first part of that sounds great, and then we can see if we could even access a guard. But I think we'll probably have a better sense of our plan if we do a little bit of observation.
Out of curiosity, are you bringing a tent, or because you usually have stuff, and I'm just wondering, like, do you have bedrolls and just out of curiosity, because like I do have all of that stuff, but I just feel like yours will be better than mine.
I will bring you an extra tent. Don't worry, Key.
Great, thanks.
Extra bedroll for you.
I appreciate it.
All right, well, let's make our way there. How far is it that we have to travel?
It's a few days along the western road, so it's not an extensive bit of travel. Some of it within the week, and it's about 2.5 days to get there. It gives you a little bit of time to scope it out if you want to.
Do we have a deadline for this mission, Evex?
He said 1 week.
He said,
so
but he
1
said
week. Okay, we have 1 week.
within the week. Yeah, it's 7 days is
Within the week,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Let's make our way there, and we can scope out the situation.
alrighty. One of you roll a d20 for me.
I'll do that. 7.
7, okay. All right. The weather is not as kind as you would have hoped along the journey. The storm that had just passed seemed to have been a precursor to a much heavier rain. As you trek down the road, all of you become completely waterlogged and soaked. Horses still provided as you ride down the road, but the chill can't be necessarily ignored. Eventually, you do have to stop and make some fire along the way.
That's my job.
The good news is it looks like the rain will continue through the time you will be there. So that could be a good or a bad thing. Meaning the terrain will be a bit slicker than normal, but it also means visibility is a little more limited.
Okay.
But as you kind of head down the road proper, eventually as you kind of breach the small tufts of forest that begin to part as you get closer to the seaside cliff. You can smell the sense of brine and splashing nearby ocean air, and you can see the dark shadow of the keep and towers looming over the walls as you can see Thornhold in the distance. Keeping a safe enough distance, you kind of just make out the train. And indeed, it seems that Evex was very honest and forthright in the display of the space. The wall, the exterior wall, stands about 15 feet tall. It looks like it's a combination of stone, plaster, and possibly like heavy wooden doors that are reinforced. There is a single walkway that marks along the top of this wall, and occasionally you do see the torch-bearing guard kind of just doing a patrol around maybe every 60 to 80 feet, there's a little parapet where either guards can trade out or they can walk down within or behind the wall. You do see the flanking towers of the keep. The one on the western side, it looks fairly simple. In fact, much of the stonework here is really relatively, I won't say rudimentary, but it is plain and functional. This isn't an exemplary, wealthy family to the point where they're showing it as part of the display of their landscape here, at least from a distance. The eastern tower that you were noted, however, looks markedly different from the rest of the environment. The same height as the others, but it is completely overgrown in ivy. And with what little bit of sunlight is beginning to catch the colors on the exterior, the green itself is broken up by dappled splashes of vibrant purple color. It looks like almost like a vertical garden has taken root along the exterior of this tower. It stands out aggressively from the rest of the landscape, and you get the sense that Lady Obella has definitely made herself at home here.
Are the east and west, is the cliff on the north side of the
cliff
keep?
is on the western side.
The western side. So the eastern is farther away from the water?
It is.
And the western one is up against the water?
Correct.
Okay.
Are there multiple doors into the on the exterior wall, or is there just a single door point of entry?
After taking a bit to peruse the exterior, you can see there is one main entrance. Make a perception check for me.
Sure. 11.
At a safe distance, you only see one entrance. It is a massive double-doored entrance that you haven't seen open since you started scoping it. Mm-hmm. You get the sense this is probably where most supplies, arrivals, and exits occur. That's the best you can make out at this time.
And it looks like to the western side, up against the water, there's less going on there. Do we see guards patrolling that part of the compound as well?
If you want to inspect, because in order to get that side, you're going to have to step towards the cliff edge and have a possibility of being sighted. I'd have you roll a stealth check for me, please.
Great. That's an 11.
11, okay. Not too bad. In peering as close to the cliff edge as you can to get a perspective where the wall comes to an end, and there is one portion of the seaside cliff that is kind of an outcropping that exposes a little bit of the interior from a viewed perspective of where you're standing. It looks like the cliffside is not as heavily guarded. You get the sense that people are more concerned with the arrivals from the majority of the landmass than the ocean at this time. And right as you've taken that much information, you fear that somebody may have spotted you, or at least a torch kind of flicks in your direction. You dodge back into the nearby shadows, and it doesn't seem to cause any more of a stir, so you manage to avoid truly getting somebody's attention.
Bing, be careful, man. You gotta be careful. All right, I say that we disguise ourselves as a band of merchants, perhaps a band of curio merchants.
Perfect.
Love to sell curios.
We make our way in through the front door.
Not a bad idea. I've got disguises. I assume my disguise kit can handle all three of us.
I'd say in preparation for this job, you could have enough in your kit for the three of you. It will take you a little bit of time to do your work, but it's definitely doable.
I have disguise self for myself also.
Oh, cool. Okay. So you don't even need my disguise kit?
I do not.
I should have known you wouldn't need me. Well, Bing, I did bring stuff for everyone, but that means that I have things for you and me. If you want to get all merchanty up in here, we can make that happen, looks-wise.
Bing pulls off his hood and says, I look forward to seeing how you will make me more merchanty.
I have some ideas.
So let's all dress ourselves up. We have our horses. Maybe we should try to procure a cart of some sort of supply wagon.
Gotta fill it with curios. That's what I'm hearing.
And we need to figure out some merchandise. And disguising ourselves shouldn't be too hard, but we need to figure out how to get some merch.
Do we know of the nearest sort of town or village or population center?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a small farming village not far from Thornhold. With probably 40 or so gold, you could both buy a cart and any sort of kind of supply cartons and crates if you'd like to stock it up.
Yeah, can we find an antique merchant? Is there a neighboring?
We can simply fill the cart with garbage, and then I can charm the guard into believing that it's curios.
we need an entire fortress full of people.
I think we're going to need a charm spell regardless. Let's stack the deck as much in our favor as we can.
Yeah, Key,
I'm
I know
out
you
here
don't
trying
want
to
to
save money, but I'm fine.
Key, we're fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. We're each going to get 2,000 gold after this is all said and done.
Yeah, assuming it is all said and done. But yeah.
All right, so going to the nearest podunk village you can find, you're able to acquire a cart and any sort of somewhat dry rotted wood crates and a supply accoutrement that can help present that. As far as looking for actual curios, there is a very old woman who has a small kind of cart tent arrangement set up within where you can see it's probably like one of the retired mothers within the farming community who has spending her later days just making knickknacks, like small little clay sculptures and the equivalent of like a what's it called, the little tiny like porcelain cherubs that you see on shelves.
Bing is momentarily distracted by a sheep miniature that he's just sort of picking up and looking at thoughtfully before putting it back down.
Are you looking to buy anything today? Anything in particular?
Yes, we'll take all of your tchotchkes.
All of them?
All of them. Everything. How much for all of them?
Bing says, not this one. All of the
all of them except for the sheep.
Oh, it's my favorite sheep.
Yeah, you can keep that favorite sheep. Don't worry.
I wasn't expecting this. 15 gold?
I'll give you 5.
Make a persuasion check.
Bing just like swallows a laugh.
20. Not 20. But 20.
Dirty 20?
It's been some time since someone showed interest in my wares, so you have yourself a deal.
All right. See, Key, I did that for you.
Key is
some
psyched
haggling.
and grinning ear to ear that we pulled this off.
So we have a wagon full of curios now, full of knickknacks.
Now, you see, fill the knickknacks. There's enough knickknacks to fill a surface, but you may have to fill the crates with like dirt and sod, and then kind of layer the top of it. Yeah,
Key got her way.
Look, we didn't have that much money, okay? But it shouldn't be smelly garbage. It needs to be, garbage that smells fine, because
Like
we don't
hay.
want people to
Yeah, hay
be
and
suspect.
dirt.
Hay's pretty
Paper.
stinky.
Oh, yeah, that's
Paper's
right.
fine.
Dirt. How about dirt?
Yeah, dirt's. I guess that's fine.
All right, we fill the crates with dirt, and all
Okay.
the top layers of every crate is curios.
yeah. If you'd like to make a nature check for me, Key.
Sure. Is that a 22?
Yep.
All right. It's nature.
Yeah. So your nature skill or survival, whichever is higher.
My nature's +1, and I don't see survival here. Oh, +3. Let's do that. Because I only rolled a 4.
4. Okay.
So that would be a 7.
All right. So after packing the cart and looking for ways to make it smell a little less conspicuous, you look for various herbs and alongside of the road as you travel, things that might plus the scent. And you find a handful of nice herbs that you kind of smear among the exterior of some of these things, and it smells very nice for about an hour. And then it turns, and you forget. Oh, these are the sour petals. Dang it. And it has just the gentlest smell of like old attic meets old milk. But you know what? It also doesn't dispel antique. It just maybe an antique store that needs a good cleaning.
Right, yeah. So we're going to have to sell ourselves as having had really old stuff. Like these little curios are old as heck. We're all on that page?
Yeah, maybe
magical.
we
Yeah,
cleared
they're
these
magical.
out of a store where they've been languishing for too long, hence the slightly sour aroma.
Exactly. Perfect. You're right on track.
So should we disguise ourselves or should we go en natural?
Nah, we got to disguise ourselves
disguise,
because I look too good. So I'm just going to go ahead and put on this canvas smock and just this sash. And I'm going to give one to Bing that matches because we're a very organized mercantile trio and we have little uniforms because we want people to trust us and know that we're all put together.
And Bing sort of studies the cart to see if there's somewhere where he could stash his greatsword, which he usually wears on his back, but isn't very merchanty.
Understood. Yeah, easy enough to kind of wedge it between the inside wall of the cart and two of the crates that you have there. It would only be visible to a very discerning eye with a very intense look, and also it's not uncommon for traveling merchants to have means of defending themselves when not on the open road. So not too much to worry about.
Being your sword is going to smell forever now.
That's all right. It already smells of pretty much everything I've ever killed with it, so it's okay.
Leon casts disguise self to make himself look like these two, so we all kind of have our merchant's gear, our outfits, our merchant's outfits. But
a waste
Leon
of disguise
adds
self.
a flourish of like bright red and all sorts of kind of like garish colors and
Hell yeah. Okay,
sparkles.
awesome. I love it.
So
He
maybe
is judging that.
maybe Bing is. Or we're having horses pull the cart.
Mm-hmm.
So Bing is on the cart with the reins of the horses as we prepare to approach the gate.
Yes, so we go up to the gate and
So Bing stays up, I guess. He's sitting up behind the two of you.
And using your disguise kit, are you doing anything beyond just dressing up, or are you like altering features? Is it kind of a makeup shift at all? The disguise kit includes all sorts of things like
you're
fake
right.
beards and noses and prosthetics.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go full fake beards too. I give myself totally different hair. I'm gonna be blonde and I'm gonna have blue skin now, and I'm gonna have not that many ideas for Bing because he's got horns, so it's not like we can really make him look that different. And his hair is so pretty, but I do manage to convince him that he should have a totally different hairstyle because, you know, what if somebody somehow recognizes us from some other job? I'm more thinking of myself here because I've been pulling cons for years. And so Bing is going to wear a beard and a wig that could be black, which is way boring compared to his usual locks.
We can say that Bing, he allowed you to kind of pull his hair back, and at least the top part is darkened a little bit.
Yep.
It was a little grudging, but he acknowledges that it is pretty noticeable hair, and it could be that someone would recognize him. So he looks
Very much
less
so.
remarkable now.
And we're getting in character, Bing. This is an acting exercise.
Bing just sort of nods at that.
Perfect. So if you want to go ahead and roll a d20,
Sure.
add your dexterity or intelligence modifier. Are you helping out with this disguise process?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, then you can actually roll with advantage. You can roll twice and take the higher number.
What's your modifier, Maddie?
It's +2.
Mine's a 14, so 16.
16. And because you're proficient with the disguise kit, you get to add your proficiency modifier as well.
Which is +3.
Indeed.
19.
19. Great. Pretty confident in your ability to have masqueraded the things you wanted to and accentuate the features you wanted to. So I guess my question is, are you approaching during daylight or evening? raining either way, so.
I say daylight. We're just trying to be
just
normal as
honest,
heck.
normal merchants.
Yeah,
Daylight.
why would we be there at
It's
night?
daylight. Maybe a little
Whatever.
bit-
People are awake now.
Maybe a little bit later in the day, kind
Right.
of planning
After
for
lunch.
potential nightfall as
Okay.
as we're
Tea
there.
time.
Like late afternoon, I would say.
Okay, great. All right. So as the gray skies begin to darken the signs of an imminent sunset, you breach the outside of the tree line and approach the central road that curves into and through the Thornhold. As you begin to just have the horses clomb up, kind of holding the reins and slowly pushing through the mud, occasionally like slipping off the road with the horses right it. You can see the torches that are slightly patrolling the tops of the wall. One of them stops and you hear some sort of call, like somebody's not yelling to you but to the interior, likely letting them know that there's somebody approaching. As you get within about 100 feet, you see the main gate open slightly, and what looks to be one armored figure begins to approach. A squat dwarven figure in a breastplate helmet with a red cloak with gold trim that itself looks quite muddied, as well as his thick mud-coated boots. He kind of shivers a bit as he approaches, holding the torch out, and steps up to the front of the cart.
Hey, who goes there? What's your business at Thornhold?
Hail, my dwarven friend. We are curio merchants from Waterdeep, and we have come to sell our fine wares. If you'd let us through, we can, of course, show you, and you can sample them and see the magical nature of our wonderful goods.
Are you affiliated with the Waterdeep Guild?
No, we are independent merchants, independent curio merchants, and we heard that there are some connoisseurs in the area.
Make a deception check for me. Go ahead and roll a d20.
All right.
Add your deception skill.
20, not natural.
20.
All right. And what sort of curios are you hoping to present?
They offer good luck and good health. Anything from curing a headache to curing a broken heart, or all broken hearts hereafter. For anyone who purchases the correct one, we'll guide you through that process.
I'd like you to also make a deception check for me, please.
Oh boy. 17. Should be fine.
Oh, that's 25. 25. That's quite slick. Kind of looks about the interior of the cart, looks up at you for a second, kind of gives a discerning glare, but then kind of passes over that.
All right, the weather's quite bad. Take refuge within the walls. Just be respectful of the grounds. Don't cause any scenes, or you'll be ejected immediately. I'll notify the head of the guard that we have a merchantile passing through for the next day or so. Welcome to Thornhold.
Thank you, sir.
Turns around and kind of leads you with the torch. He raises a hand up to a guard that's on the wall. You can see them perched with a heavy crossbow, kind of just leaned over the edge of the wall that then gets pulled back into a less aggressive and ready position. There's a loud whistle, and you hear the chains go taut as the gates begin to open, kind of dragging these large streaks through the muddy road, revealing the interior courtyard of Thornhold.
Bing snaps the reins, and the horses begin to pull the cart slowly into the courtyard.
Kind of stepping in with the splashy sounds, you can see the flickers of numerous torches and braziers that kind of stand against the rain, saying, "Curse you, rain, but we'll burn anyway." Magical or not, a lot of these flames seem to have either been well kept, well oiled, or or arcane in nature. The rainfall itself darkening much of the interior. You can see there are the occasional figures darting past with supplies. You can see there are small homesteads and warehouse structures throughout the grounds. But it's hard to not just be taken by the keep itself and the flanking towers on each side. The keep is a massive stone structure with what looks like four crenellated parapets at each major corner of the keep, and you can see numerous entryways and arrow slits that belie a warm, kind of crackling, flame-lit interior. You can see there are banners strung across various small pillars that hold the torch braziers to light the courtyard. It's a nice interior. There's a number of trees that are planted within that are growing. Looks like there's almost a garden that's been waterlogged and become muddied to the point where the greens have now given to browns. It looks like some of the folks here are a bit miserable with the current turn of weather, and there are signs that tell you that maybe there was a celebration recently that is still being cleaned up. There are tables and chairs that are being removed from what looks to be what was a central gathering event, which might explain the banners. But the guard leads you further in, off to the side of the livery, kind of points to a place and goes, you can set up your cart and whatever tents you need to stay on these grounds here, should you need any help. Luther! And you see he shouts over, and now you get a better look at this dwarf under his glass. You can see he has this like really kind of wiry gray beard that is mostly like tucked into his cloak and into underneath the breastplate. Shouts over, Luther, come here! And you see this young, kind of scrawny-looking dwarf guard who, wearing the same breastplate and helmet, but the helmet kind of doesn't quite fit right and kind of is off-kilter to one side. He has these bright red mutton chops that just consume each side of his face jowl, kind of out from underneath the helmet. Comes darting up. Aye. What's? Oh, hello. I'm Uther.
You're their charge. Keep an eye. If anything goes wrong, shoot him. I'm kidding. That was a joke. No, seriously, if anything goes wrong. And the initial guard kind of wanders off as Uther kind of gives a salute with a fist clasped over his shoulder towards the other guard, looks back.
Hello, I'm Uther. Welcome, Thornhold.
Hey, Luther. You seem like one of the brightest guards that Thornhold has to offer. It's lovely to meet you.
Oh, you're too kind. I'm just I've been working here for a few months. I'm sort of on the up and up, so anything I can do to be of service, I'm at your disposal.
Luther, what happened here? Was there some sort of celebration?
The lady and Lord were married about 6 months before, and they've taken to re-celebrating once a month.
They celebrate their marriage once a month?
Aye.
Wow.
Bing is sort of beginning to unpack
Romantic.
the cart and set things up and says, I mean, I guess any excuse for a celebration, right?
I guess so. Don't mind. It's good eating. At least the scraps we get. But, the music's fine, and we sneak a few...
And he kind of catches himself being too friendly immediately out of the gate.
By the way, what's your names? I haven't actually met you, and I'm sorry, you just have those faces.
My name is Noel.
Noel.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Luther. You seem like the strongest dwarf here.
Yeah, you're too kind. And you are?
My name is Catherine.
Catherine. Noel. All right. And
Bing sets down a box and makes his way over to Luther and says, I'm Bong, and holds out his hand.
Bong.
It clasps your hand.
He says, good, strong handshake.
He looks at his hand with disbelief.
Right, thank you.
Bing claps him on the shoulder and goes back over to Leon and Key.
So, Luther, who is this new lord that the lady married?
Well, actually, the Lord's been here a while. The lady's kind of the new arrival. So the Lord Everett Colm Margister, he's one of the Margister family that has long held this keep for generations, from what I've been told at least. But I guess he was abroad last year and met the lady, Obela Amberthak Margister. Now she's in the family. I can't do that again. Punishment severe.
You're okay, Luther. Don't worry about it. We won't tell anybody.
I appreciate that. But the ladies come in and just brought a whole new, a lively colour. What I've been told. I don't know. It's better than shoveling pig shit.
Bing sort of gestures with his head toward the ivy-covered tower and says, seems like she brought a lot of color to that tower more than the other tower.
Aye. A bit unnatural, but, beautiful.
It didn't look like that before.
No. I don't know. Where the lady walks, she just kind of, I don't know, brings a liveliness to her space.
You see he smiles, but there's a bit of discomfort in his gaze.
He says, sounds interesting. Sounds maybe magical?
Oh, aye. She's brought a collection. A lot of boxes of fine china. Quite a collection of small dolls. To carry in to one of the chambers there. She's a collector. I wouldn't say hoarder per se, because it's all very well organized. But yeah, she's got a lot of interests, a lot of hobbies.
Do you think we could see her and perhaps bring some of our curios? It sounds like she might like them very much.
Maybe I can let leadership know, and they can let the lady know that you've brought your wares, and in the morning, perhaps she can come down and peruse what you've brought.
Do you think we might be able to bring them to her and we could see how they fit in among her collection? We could perhaps place them in different locations through her tower.
Make a persuasion check.
That would be 17.
17.
Oh, let me ask. Let me ask. Yeah, it's a bit out of the ordinary, seeing as how you've been here for 5 minutes. But I'll talk to my superiors and see what we can muster.
Do you think you could do that right now, Luther?
Sure, yeah. I'm charged with your keeping, so I'll get right to it. You keep unpacking.
And he kind of jaunts off through the rain.
Bing sort of chuckles and says, should I even bother setting up our tents?
Yeah, we gotta act like we're in it for the long haul. We're here for the next couple of days.
Yeah. I mean, that tower, what do we think? Really weird looking tower. I haven't seen anything like that before, so I don't even know what kind of magic that is. I mean, I do know that fire destroys most plants, but I don't know. What do we think?
Bing is rolling out some tarps underneath the tents and says, definitely magical. Let's figure out how to get inside it before we start talking about how to burn it down.
But I mean, I don't know how much pull Luther has around here, but I guess we'll see what he can do for us.
I think we should watch out for magical traps as we make our way into this tower. We need to be extra careful.
Agreed.
Glancing here, as you can now kind of take a moment to take in the sight of the tower that is visible even here in the ever-darkening sky and rainfall. The tower itself rising up 7, maybe 8 stories to a point peak roof. You can see there's balconies alternating every even floors. The 2nd floor, 4th floor, 6th floor. There are visibly 3 balconies of different widths. And you can see, while they have, looks to be curtained obscuration to the majority of it, a little bit of light peeks through to insinuate a warm interior. The ivy you can see some of the stone peeking through, but the ivy is almost completely grown over the tower in nearly like a downward spiral sort of pattern. It's beautiful, very almost fairy tale like. If someone were to paint what a mystical tower would look like, that's what this is aspiring to be, which makes it stand out that much more against the rest of its relatively normal looking keep interior. But yeah, it is also, there are 2 guards stationed towards the one entrance that you can make out. There's about a 6-foot step rise that goes to a large double door, and there are guards flanking the bottom of the stairs on each side.
They won't let us in. We could look at those balconies, perhaps try to climb our way inside.
We do have the grappling hook. You're probably a better climber than I am, but I think we could probably get up there if we needed to.
Yeah, we would need to not be seen for a while, because it's a long climb.
It seems like we've got an angle to possibly get inside without having to break in, and we should also be thinking about how we're going to get out.
Yeah, good point.
You hear the thick, heavy mud footfalls of Uther rushing up with a big smile.
Sorry about that. As supervisor said, absolutely not. But tomorrow, they will pass on the information to the lady, and should she find it within her good graces, she will grace your wares with her presence. I make no promises, and if she doesn't, I guarantee you it's nothing personal. She's probably busy or doesn't care.
All right, well, thank you, Luther. I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, thanks for trying.
Of course. I'll just, I'll be around. Call my name if you need me.
Sounds good.
All right, so Bing finishes setting up the tents.
All right, so as I say, we have two options. Tonight we can try to get in there and hope that some of the guards that it's a little less guarded and people are asleep. We can try to climb our way in. Or we wait till tomorrow, meet the lady, see how it goes from there.
Bing, still setting up tents and sleeping material, says, "It's been 2 days. We have time. I think we shouldn't rush it. We should meet the lady and see what she's made of."
Wait it out.
Yeah, I agree. She sounds, again, like a real weirdo, so let's just see what we're working with. Plus, she collects dolls. I mean, all of this is adding up to paint a real creepy picture to me, and whatever clues we can get about what's actually going to be inside this tower, I think the better. So let's try to get a read on this lady, you know?
I want to cast my mage hand cantrip and just kind of like a little thing, like away from on some side of the tower up above that nobody can really see, just to get a feel the ivy and see if it's real ivy or if it's an illusion or what.
Okay. So you're kind of, are you trying to stealth by the tower, or are you trying
Can I cast it from just where I am? Like just cast a mage hand like all the way up on the top of the tower?
Let me check in on the Arcane Trickster real fast. I know that
the hand has to be 30 feet away,
It's
within
a tall
30 feet.
tower, but yeah, we could,
So
we
like
could touch
wherever
it.
30 feet up above us.
right. So the nearest balcony on this would be on the second floor, which is about 12 to 15 feet from
Oh,
you.
yeah,
so
okay.
you'd have to be about 15 feet from the tower base.
So
you'd
I have to get up real close.
You'd have to be
the
pretty close to
tower.
do it. So you could try and stealth around, maybe come from the back side and like stay among because there are clusters of like bushes and greenery that is grown around the base of the tower. You could try and hide through that, or you could try and approach and pass yourself off as just a person wandering through, but that would also
Curious
mean
merchant.
having to have a conversation.
Sure.
So it's whatever your approach is up to you.
Yeah, I mean, how far is our tent, our setup from the tower?
Probably about a good 150 feet. You're
okay.
you're set up on the opposite side
Okay.
of that tower. Like they're keeping you as far away from the main towers and keep as possible
Okay.
to keep an eye on what you're doing and to make sure that those who live here in the affluent interior of those structures can feel safe from any sort of riffraff.
Gotcha. Are we the only kind of visitors, or do we see anyone else who's kind of like a merchant or a visitor or anything like that?
Glancing around, you don't see any other merchants at the moment. You see in the mud there are tracks that seem like there have been people recently set up here. So it looks like there may have been a caravan that came through, possibly to help on whatever this recent celebration was, the monthly wedding celebration, but have recently exited, and you can see like the grooves in the mud and dirt of a number of this caravan exiting recently. So you're primarily the only merchants that are or traveling merchants that are present, but also at this time of night as it grows dark, most of the other structures are already kind of closed. People are staying indoors. It's kind of a quiet and still night under the rain.
So what do you think? Are you gonna stealth over?
I
don't
think
it's a bad
we
idea.
should do a little bit of scouting before
Yeah.
we call it for the evening. Okay, I'm gonna go over. I think I'm just kind of acting like, hey Luther, I'm gonna go for a walk, and I'm just kind of walking around, and we're allowed to be here, so why should I have to sneak? Why should I have to skulk through the shadows?
Do you say that out loud?
I do. I do.
For a walk.
Saying all this to Uther's face.
We are allowed to be here.
I am allowed here.
I'm just saying. It's for the record.
I mean, presumptuous, but sure.
And I walk up until I'm close enough to the tower that I could kind of like cast Mage Hand without people really paying to it, like without people really noticing me. I'm just kind of hanging out.
You kind of begin to approach the exterior of the tower, and you see the two guards kind of take note of you, of course, as you walk out in the open. They both look at each other, give a nod. One stays posted, and the other just kind of approaches you. Can I help you? And
Yes.
you see this. This is a half-orcan figure, well-shaven. Looks like he has brass cusps on the edge of his tusks, a bit of a pencil mustache across his upper lip, wearing the same kind of guard armor, and he kind of steps over, kind of looming.
What's your business?
My name is Noel, and I just wanted to ask, sir, is that real gold on your tusks there?
No, it's brass.
No, oh my God, that is brass. Oh, that is some fine metal, sir. It looks like gold to me.
Your eyes lie to you. What is your business here?
Oh, we're traveling merchants. We're looking around. I heard that your lady is very fond of curios and dolls and knickknacks of all sorts, and that is what we happen to sell.
Wonderful. Perhaps she'll come see your wares another time.
Yeah. I just wanted to check out. I mean, this tower is unusual looking compared to the rest of the keep, and I thought I would check it out.
Then enjoy checking it out.
Thank you, I will. Have a good night, sir.
You as well.
And so when I cast a cantrip, is that like noticeable? Will they like notice me casting it? Let's check.
Stealth casting, is that a thing?
Yeah.
It
is.
can
It is
be.
a thing.
So with you, verbal in somatics, which means you have to speak and move your hands to
move your
cast
hands,
it.
okay.
And as you're walking, the guard is staying 15 feet behind you. Like he's letting you do your thing, but he's also
Okay.
doing his job.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you wanted to do it stealthily, you can make a sleight of hand check to try and do it without
sleight of
noticing.
hand check.
Okay.
13.
13. Okay. You go ahead and cast the spell subversively.
That's not a good face. Or maybe it's a great face.
As you cast the spell, and you'll kind of just glance over your shoulder to make sure it's not being seen. You look back, and you see he's scraping some sort of animal dung off of his boot. It's like, God, I can't believe they...
Nice.
Like, sheep aren't supposed to be allowed in this pack. And he just did not notice it. Anything. Well, a
Nice.
natural one on that one.
Oh, amazing.
Amazing.
So I cast Mage Hand, and I want to kind of like scope out the ivy, the cure, like see what the tower kind of feels like. See if it's an illusion, if it's magic, or real ivy.
So as you kind of drift your invisible mage hand across the side, you can see where kind of the ivy shifts as the magical hand glides across it. It is an illusion, and the ivy holds pretty strong. It's like if it has been grown recently, it's rooted like it had been there for 100 years.
Is it climbable? Can the hand kind of tell if it's like it'll support our weight?
Make a perception check for me.
Okay.
This is to see at this distance in the weather that you can make that sort of assumption.
23.
23.
I saw it.
That's like, you gather that parts of it could possibly hold your weight. The weather makes it a little more challenging than it would be otherwise, but it's possible.
And
Possible.
while I'm here also, I just want to scout around and see if I notice anything else on the tower that is unusual or noteworthy.
With that high enough perception check too, as you glance about, you see the balconies that are on each of these floors. They're a little bit offsets. Like there's the one that's facing mostly in the direction of the front door on the second floor. Then there's the one on the fourth floor is facing a little bit westward, and then the one on the sixth floor is facing a little bit eastward. They all seem to have like double glass doors, like French pane glass doors that are closed and locked that face outward onto the balcony. And you can see curtains hanging, kind of obscuring most of the interior from what you can make out. There are no arrow slits. The other tower has arrow slits and is built defensively. This seems to have eschewed that for presentory aesthetic.
And you said they're locked, the glass doors, you said?
Oh, you can't tell from
You
this
can't
distance,
tell, okay.
but they're closed,
They're
and,
closed.
and like latched shut.
Okay. And which of them, like I guess which direction are the guards facing? So like which of the windows would be most out of sight of the guards?
Either the west or eastern ones would be kind of equally out of sight. They're facing in opposite directions.
Gotcha.
The one that's in the second floor is facing in the direction they are, which is also the easiest one to get to, unfortunately.
Okay. I go back to Key and Bing and I tell them everything I saw. and what I learned. So some of the ivy might be climbable, or really I think that the western and the eastern balconies are our way to go if we need to infiltrate without being invited in. Tomorrow we may be able to convince the lady to let us in.
I love the optimism.
And Bing says, and you really think that ivy could be climbable?
It could be. I mean, when it's raining this hard, it might not be. It might be too slippery. But the thing with the ivy is if we try climbing that, I mean, the guards will probably see us.
Again, I'm thinking about exfiltration and not infiltration.
Right, we need a way out.
In a pinch.
In a pinch, yes, we do need a way out. Key, do you have the Featherfall spell or anything like that? Anything that would allow us
No,
to get?
I got Misty Step.
That's just you. You can get out.
I
but we can't.
mean, you said it, not me.
Okay.
But it is
okay.
true that I can get out,
Okay.
and I do have a variety of other heavy-hitting spells at my disposal. I mean, I'm not saying we're gonna have to fight our way out. I just got fire on the brain, I guess, and
You always do.
I'm just saying. I can control it. You know, we got to do what we got to do. But yeah, exfiltration, that is a toughie.
All right, let's sleep on it. We'll see how tomorrow goes.
Yeah. I want to meet
Alright.
this lady. I want to see what
same.
she's like.
We set up our tent and our bedrolls and our merchant stand, and then we go to sleep.
Great. All right. It's a chilly night, especially here in the elements. For those of you who are a little more used to the comfort, this is easy going for you, Key. Like, this is...
Yeah, I don't even bother to offer lighting a fire because I'm like, this is fine temp-wise.
You were forged in this weather.
Leon is a little cold.
Yeah. No need for a rooster to awaken you as the crack of thunder pulls you from your slumber. And here in the mid-morning, it seems the cloudy sky is indeed calling forth a roiling thunderstorm that is looking to park its way over this region for the remainder of the next day or two.
We're in it. We're in this storm for the long haul.
Indeed, with this early morning, you can see the muddy interior of the street is solemnly traversed. Other than the handful of servants, the stableman is in the process of feeding the horses and trying to brush them and keep them dry. You can see the guards. There's a small barracks chamber that is separate from the main keep. It looks like there's some transitioning of guards between different... word escaped me suddenly.
Posts.
Posts. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was going to say. Every now and then the brain's like, you don't need that word right now. But it's definitely feels like a little bit of a lonely, or at least cold and energyless period here within the keep. So your arrival here as merchants both stands out, but also means that it's more prominent.
Did Bing get a sense of, like, looking at the guard rotations of when the guards in front of the door to the east tower switched out with another group of guards, or is it the same guards that Leon talked to the night before?
No, different set of guards than the ones you talked before. And if you were keeping an eye out that night, which I'll say that's part of your job here, you'd noticed shortly before midnight, both of those guards changed. They didn't change at the same time.
Okay.
One left to retrieve, and so that way there was never like a period of time where it was completely left alone. But that's around the time where they transitioned.
How
And they
long-
transitioned with like other guards in the area. Like, they didn't go into the tower. They just switched off with other
Correct,
people.
yeah.
Okay.
Nobody-
The doors stayed closed the whole time.
Nobody's gone in that tower.
Okay.
How long is it just one person? Like how long is it just one
About
guard?
2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay. Okay, so it's mid-morning.
Indeed. Do you set up a presentery display of
we
your
set up
wares?
our wares. Well, we got to get
Yeah.
ready for the lady.
Yes. We set up the best-looking knickknacks. We set up on the table.
Your haphazard presentation just barely finishes in time before you glance over your shoulder and see the unexpected appearance of an entourage of 4 guards, and you see an elegant dwarven woman with like deep, dark purple hair. Her pale skin appears to have inked tattoo alongside each part of the chin, where it almost has like a built-in high collar. But it's just part of her tattooed presentation. She has a beautiful dress. And you notice that her dress, as she walks, does not pick up the mud as she steps. And in fact, the rain that falls also seems to just dodge around her. As she approaches, kind of a cloak over her shoulders, her striking green eyes kind of scan across you all, her falling kind of black curls, briefly obscuring what you see is a lavender shade nightingale that's kind of nestled into her shoulder that she kind of just cuddles with one hand as she steps forward.
Good morning, lovelies. I've been notified of your arrival and told that you have interesting wares to present.
Bing sort of shuffles uncomfortably and is just staring at her hair.
Yes, my lady, it is an honor to meet you, and we have heard that you are an appreciator of fine, fine curios, which is exactly what we have to sell.
Good. Show me your finest, please.
Leon pulls out, like he shows the table. He kind of pulls out some of the finest statues of birds and a little those Russian matryoshka dolls.
This is very much like that truck stop on the road trip that has way too many things in it while you're trying to just get like some Powerade and use the bathroom.
Exactly. He's got everything. It's all just set up on this table. He's showing, like, looking for reactions in the ladies as the lady sees them all.
Her eyes dart from side to side, and you see an expression. Actually, all three of you make insight checks for me, please.
5.
11.
18.
18. She looks oddly intrigued by the wares that you're presenting. You pick up an absolute comical appreciation for something so bad you cannot help but enjoy it. She is watching Tommy Wiseau's The Room, the Knick-Knack collection.
Yeah.
And she just kind of like clasps her hands together. Her like nightingale kind of like flickers off and kind of just steps and lands on your shoulder. Like, she goes, "This is a marvelous display. Where are you all from?"
We're from Waterdeep, my lady, and thank you so much. I agree. It
Please,
is a marvelous display.
Tell me, what is the story behind some of these wares? I'm intrigued.
Well, of course, my lady. This doll here, it is from the far east, and it is said that you'll never experience any type of bodily aches or pains again if you hold it in your possession, or especially if you carry it with you. It'll just, you know how we get old, and you wake up, your back, just what have you done to it? That will never happen to you again if you have this little doll. And some of our wares are quite more impressive than just these dolls. I notice my lady is looking at these dolls, but for example, this little box that you could store something in, if you were to keep this little box, it would potentially cure you of ever experiencing any sort of just day-to-day disappointments that you might have. You'll always feel that your breakfast was well cooked if you have this little box in your possession.
Make a deception check for me, please, Key.
As convincing as that was.
I don't understand. Oh shit. All right. Is that a 9? All right,
That's
No, that's a 6.
It's a 6.
Fuck. All right. 6 plus 8.
14.
Plus 8 on your deception is
14.
14. He goes, "That is something." My goodness. I've traveled quite the lengths and breadths of the Sword Coast, and are myself a woman of exquisite exotic tastes, and I have not seen anything quite like this.
My lady, is it true that you are also a collector of these fine delights and antiques?
I'm a collector of fine things, yes.
Oh, if it's not too much to ask, my lady, would it be possible for us to see your collection as well?
Throw them out. And she turns around and walks away. And the guards start like pushing you towards your gear. They're gonna throw you out.
Bing sort of tries to keep them from touching the dolls.
Yeah.
Heads off the merchandise.
Yeah, can we just be like, listen, we just need a little time to pack up. We'll be right on our way.
you heard
but
the
we
lady.
just-
We'll leave.
They like take their hands up for a bit,
You have 2 hours. You have to go.
and you see like Uther's like, I'm sorry.
He's still standing there. Bing looks at Luther and says, "Luther, there's nothing you can do. You seem to be of a very high station here."
I don't know. She seems a bit wound up. I'm so sorry about this. I'll see if I can get some provisions for you, at least for the road.
And he like darts off. The rest-
So Bing just sort of gives a look to Key and Leon and begins kind of slowly packing up the small dolls. What do we do?
I think
2 hours.
I think our operation needs to move more quickly than we thought. I think they need to think that we're gone.
Yes, right.
I think
Is there anywhere around here that we could conceivably hide until nightfall? I mean, if we're going to sneak into this tower, I don't know if we can do it in broad daylight. But on the other hand, it's raining really freaking hard. So
do you have any illusion spells that would make it seem like our camp and we are gone so we can sneak in? I have a minor illusion, but I'm not sure that'll help.
I mean, I also have minor illusion, maybe between the two of us. Or alternately, like, is there a place we can hide and sort of like also have a minor illusion? I know there were a bunch of bushes near the tower, but that probably is not.
I have darkness as a spell that I can cast. I don't know
That
if
seems
that
a little
would be
extreme.
Well, it could cloak us in darkness, but it might just be weird for there to be like a dark area where there wasn't one.
Be a little
Maybe
odd.
yeah,
Yeah.
a little
Right.
weird.
I mean, minor illusion is a 30-foot range and it lasts about a minute. It's like a
Yeah,
small
so it's
creation.
Like not like we could just.
So you could be creative in its use, but you know, if you were to either take the cart outside and return somehow, or to find a way to hide the cart and hide yourselves, like there are places to hide on the ground.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So do you?
Yeah, looking around, do we see? Bing looks around, and can he see a way to get to the like ramparts above the wall? Like,
Yes.
How does that work?
You see, the wall itself, it's too thin to have an interior to it, but there are a number of ladders, like reinforced iron ladders that are arranged at the back of each one of those kind of like tower points along the wall. So yeah, there are probably 12 of them across the entirety of the wall perimeter.
Could we use a combination of minor illusions and mage hand to kind of make it seem like the three of us are walking off with the cart and the mage hand is pulling the cart with our illusion us,
Right, like we
while the
actually
three
are
of us-
getting rid of the cart because we really don't need it anymore.
well, right. So the cart with the three of us, so everyone thinks that they're leaving while we hide in the cover of darkness.
You can certainly try.
Okay, let's
Even maybe one of us could hide. I mean, like if we could like get a rope over the wall or something to get people back in.
Sure, yeah.
Afterward, we really kind of just need one person.
we could do that. I can hide in the shadows.
Yeah, I feel like
get
Leon
the
probably has
highest-
the best chance.
Yeah, the highest dex.
of hiding overnight.
Okay, so
Then
can
we
we
have to
use
wait
a minor
overnight.
illusion? Okay, so the two of them pull the cart and a minor illusion to make it seem like I'm with them, but I'm really hiding
Right.
behind. You want to do that?
Okay.
Yeah, that
Okay.
works.
So we finish
we're gonna do
packing
that.
up slowly. Bing is very careful with each of the miniatures. He packs them very carefully, and just in a way that he's hoping no one notices. But he's just being very gentle with them all.
Yeah.
and gets all the boxes back up.
And Leon
Puts the fence
says, "I'll
down.
meet you two on the wall, on the eastern wall, when at dusk, at darkness, when it gets dark out. So you guys will leave. I'll hide until darkness, and then I'll meet you on top of the wall. I'll throw a rope down so you guys can get back in, and then we'll make our way into the tower."
And Bing says, and I'll be thinking about a distraction that we can maybe set up outside of the walls, the way
good
I
idea.
love
to draw some people
distractions.
Good
away.
idea.
Yeah.
I think maybe
Yeah.
fire
Set a
could be
fire.
involved. Keith.
What
Yeah,
if you set a
absolutely.
fire on the western side of the keep and
Love
get
this.
some attention?
I'm
there?
gonna have
Yeah,
to
we'll
be
come up with
over
something.
there.
Yeah.
Although, am I though? Because I have that like distance.
Well, you guys will be leaving through the front door. You can camp
Yeah,
out
yeah,
outside there, set a fire on the west side, and then make your way to the east side, where I'll meet you
Yep.
from the top of the rampart.
That's the plan.
Okay,
All right.
so you're staying behind?
Staying
Well,
behind.
All right. So with the rainfall, the guards, all eyes on the cart being loaded up, you find a moment in which the eyes are not entirely locked on your movements to try and find a place to hide. There are a number of bushes around the nearby gardens. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me, please.
Alrighty. 7.
7. Okay.
This plan is going awry
going great.
already.
You kind of shuck off to the side and dart into the nearby bushes, and as you kind of get down low and turn back, you hear look up, and that same half-orc guard with the brass tusks is
Popping a squat on premises?
When you have to go, my friend. And by the way, your tusks look fantastic this fine morning.
You are making me blush. And he just looks at you sternly. There is an outhouse to finish your business. Then be on your way.
Which way is the outhouse, my friend?
points to the opposite side of the warehouse next to where your cart was set.
I follow him to the outhouse while gesturing to these guys to keep going. And I go inside and do my business. Is he like waiting outside?
You kind of glance through one of the cracks of the outhouse, and he's there just kind of waiting.
Okay, so we're loading up the cart as that happens. Have you cast Minor Illusion?
And could you now?
Well, I guess I haven't made it seem since I got caught before I can cast the illusion to. I can make myself appear with a minor illusion. Is that allowed?
Make it look like you're leaving.
I'll allow it,
We'll allow it, okay.
but it's brief and it doesn't hold up to scrutiny. If it was like a distant glance, it might
I see.
catch somebody anywhere, but because it's a cantrip, it's very limited in its ability and scope. It only lasts for a minute. So.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're up on the cart now, and that I think would be a good time to do it because we're kind of far away from him.
Right. So I cast minor illusion to make it seem like, even though he's standing in front of the outhouse, I cast minor illusion to make it seem like I'm with them, like a few feet away from him. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's looking at. So both of you kind of pushing the cart away. There's a brief kind of fuzzy illusion of Leon appearing in the cart next to you.
And Bing says, Leon, good to see you. Or, Noel, good to see you. He catches himself. Noel, good to see you. Let's be on the road. And spurs the horses into
The illusion
action.
does not move. It's very much like a mannequin in the the passenger seat. But as it coasts through and the guards kind of peer over the side, the Orcish guard hears that in the corner, looks over, looks confused, and kind of like begins to jog off in the direction of where the cart's going to confirm what he saw.
I quickly leave the outhouse and sneak into the shadows.
Okay, make another stealth check.
Okay, this time it'll go well.
Maybe because you're not under gaze and because the rain is helping you, you do have advantage in this.
Excellent. Oh no. They fell.
That's cocked. Roll it again.
An angle.
All right, that's 14.
14, that'll be enough. So you go ahead and dive into the nearby brush on the outside of the warehouse, and while all eyes are kind of focused in that direction, you find an area there that is comfortable enough, like a little pocket within the brush, that you're not like jammed by nearby thorns. And after a few moments, get a sense that you have gone undetected.
Excellent.
The cart exits the gates. They close behind, and as you kind of begin to pull away towards the tree line, you hear the of thunder rolling in the distance as the looming sunset begins to push towards your meeting time. And I think we'll go ahead and take that as our break for Act 1. We'll come back here for the next bit of this session, where we'll pick up at the actual beginning of this infiltration. Now that you've gathered some information about the contents of the hold, the lady who resides within the tower, of your intent, and the strangeness that might await you as you go on this heist.
Triple Quest was written by Matthew Mercer with improvisational assistance by Jason Schreier, Maddie Myers, and me, Kirk Hamilton. I edited and mixed the show and also wrote and performed the music. It was produced by me, Jason, and Maddie, as always. We were only able to afford to hire Matt to run this game because of the generous support of our Maximum Fun members, so if that's you, thank you so much. And if you'd like to help make it possible for us to do things like this in the future, consider becoming a member at MaximumFun.org/join. Okay, we know the job, we've seen the tower, we don't know how we're going to get in, get the goods, and get out alive, but we can maybe figure that out next time on part 2 of Triple Quest.